Everyone, this is Black Spring with Black Spring Mobile here on your Friday it is. And I do want to get into a few things. This is Black Spring Mobile, clearly. It looks like we have what I'm going to call a shack buzz. Pardon the startup here. And we have a shack buzz, I think, in queue due to the mocktails. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see how long it takes before the liberals, the progressives, and sorry about that. Too long before the liberals, the progressives, and the henchmen come out for him. Yeah, because I think he is in support of, I'm going to call it bodily autonomy. Imagine that, bodily autonomy in the 21st century, in the year of 2022. And I find myself sometimes using BC, which that would be before COVID. But I have yet to figure out when it's going to be appropriate to use AC. You guys tell me that. We can put that on a poll. When will it be appropriate? When will it be appropriate to say after COVID? Or when was it ever appropriate to say, hey, we flatten the curve? I don't know. Just saying. So I don't think that he's without empathy. I'm beginning to put, I don't really give a whole lot of credence or value to, of course, the celeb types and the influencers. But in this ilk, I kind of put Shaquille O'Neal in the vein with Charles Barkley. I think Charles Barkley has been the most objective influencer for a long time. And I'm not sure whether he was I'm not sure what his party line was, if he was ever, officially on the right. But it always, sorry about that, but it always seems like Charles Barkley has maintained he's always been able to obtain, I think, somewhat of an objective stance. And then maybe maybe more people will see that, and they'll maybe even see that via, this stance with the shack, dare I say. Hang on just one second. And no, it is not the coof. It is not the heebie-jeebies. It's not. It's a little bit rainy, a little bit cold where I am. I managed to pull out my rain boots. This is kind of trivial, but I managed to pull them out because I haven't really worn them. I just look around this neck of the woods, and just about everybody has a pair of rain boots. And I said, hey, I'll pull mine out. They're warm, they're kind of bulky, but they get the job done. I had rain boots when I was in high school, and I liked my rain boots so much that I started wearing them with everything. So enough on that. But yes, so we've got influence, I guess, because could it have anything to do with Black History Month, that you've got another voice of reasoning coming out during Black History Month. Now that would be a beautiful thing if we can turn this trajectory around from liberal lunacy and progressives, or do what you're told, or don't object to what's going on, don't object to the narrative because we got this, you do what you're told. That would be great. But I would imagine that the blowback on Shaq will probably be pretty brutal. Now, I don't know. I know he's already, I think, in a retirement, zone or whatever. But how much can they, take from him at this point? I'm not sure he's not quite doing Aflac commercials or the General. What's the name of that commercial? The insurance commercial, the General. I think I've seen him on that. I think. I could be wrong. But we'll see what happens with that. And I would love to, actually, I wouldn't mind hearing from Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley, what is your position? What is your, and is this situation with the mandates and the jab, is that going to force more of these athletes into retirement? And that's why I'm saying that Shaq's position is not as volatile, or it's lower risk, because I think, dare I say that, for the lack of a better phrase, I think he has made his money, and he doesn't have to deal with so many of the influences, you know. And I find myself talking about Black people a whole lot during Black History Month. Is that by design? You know, did I fall for it? Come on, guys, you can tell me the truth. I can handle it. Quite honestly, I can. Hi, Risen Ability. Thank you so much for coming in. But I'm also hearing in another buzz that the Ottawa truckers, I think they're anticipating maybe another convoy or caravan. I think the government has been trying to shut them down, but I think maybe they're revving up to do something else this weekend. But it's very much, it's starting to look a lot like the J6 situation, and that's, you know, everybody's going to be the Western Hemisphere. Anybody that's in dissent is going to be labeled as a DT. You know, we've talked about that on here. We've talked about DT meaning domestic terrorist, and they're following suit. The West is obviously using the same tactics. What is it, Trudeau? He's going to use the same tactics, I think, that the Dems used to shut down the dissent, or shut down the civic disobedience or demonstrations. I don't know. I would hate to see this thing get ugly, but I can see that. I can see there's some similarities there, just a hair, there. So let's see who else has joined in here. Thank you guys so much. Joseph Francis Burton here. He says, the truth, I would not know it was the wokest time of the year if we're not for this. Oh gosh. Well, you know, I don't make the rules, Joseph Francis Burton. I don't. There's a particular, I'm gonna get into it later. You might see that I posted at some point that I was gonna do a live stream, and I may still do it, but the resource that I'm gonna cite, The Hill, is where this comes from. I'm not quite done with it, but you know, maybe we'll get into some specifics there. And then I just want to do some more casual streams, and yeah, we can even just do, we can maybe do a stream that just kind of reflects on your thoughts and your opinions of the week. Anything that kind of came out in the cycle this week, or anything that I've talked about this week, you'll be free to talk about that. And just give your opinion, you know, and still call it, you know, people's pendulum is what I'm leaning towards on that. But we have lots, we're not short on goings on, as you know, per usual. But I don't know, I guess they need to wreck the West. They need to wreck the West first, or they need to destroy the Western Hemisphere economies, I guess, in order for this thing to work. I think Pelosi is in the buzz for telling the Beijing Olympians basically not to anger the Chinese. Yeah, we were really turning into some kind of nanny / surveillance / do you guys recognize this place? It's only been 1 year, right? One. And I know, and I know the demonstrations and all that stuff, you know, it kind of gives us something to chew on. It's kind of it's a little bit of a pacifier, but I'm telling you, we're swallowing a whole lot down on, we're swallowing some seeds on some of these, acts of civil disobedience. But I don't know. We're in a jam. But I thank you guys. It's been 9 minutes and 50 seconds. And so this was your Black Spring Mobile for today. And I think I might go into that article a little bit. But like I said, it looks like we're going to hear from many people from the Black community for Black History Month. Doesn't matter which side you're on, we're gonna hear. Whoopi Goldberg is in a sling. You know, I this lady is, you know, I can't even believe it. But yeah, she's shown her colors more than once. But you know, I guess she thinks she's above it all. I mean, what is it? She's an honorary Jewish person, and they might try to strike me for saying that, but I don't know. What is that? What is that? Oh, thanks, Marcy T. I'm like, I came down the stairs and then came into it's foggy, it's cloudy out here, get a little bit of light or whatnot. But yes, anything you guys want to hack it up on, thank you so much, Marcy T. I really appreciate it. And Joseph Francis Burton says, I'm stunned that we did not boycott the Chinese Olympics. Marcy says she's coming back later. Yeah, I don't know. These people are it's radical, I have no idea. But that is one of that. I dare I say that's a protected class. It is an unspoken protected class, and yeah, it's kind of like a mafia. It's like, are we dealing with a mafia? Like the media is like a mafia. Like we made you the star, we made you the comedian, we made you all these things, and we can break you anytime we want. That's like, we gave you this, we gave you that nightclub, we gave you that restaurant over there, and you got cute, so you got to get spanked. So it's like the mafia is spanking. They're going to spank people during Black History Month, and you're also going to get the opposite of that. So we'll see what happens to Shaq, which honestly, I think Shaquille O'Neal has. I think even Shaquille O'Neal was, dare I say, was he an honorary? We can hack this up later. Was Shaquille O'Neal ever an honorary police officer? It seems like I heard that somewhere, or maybe in one of his own anecdotals. He did more than a ride along, or he was trying to be a police officer, maybe once upon a retirement run. So they're not gonna like much that's coming out of him. He's kind of like they're not gonna like that. Like I said, I kind of put him and Charles Barkley in the same ilk. A lot of people don't like Charles Barkley. I mean, a lot of people. I'll say some people don't like him. I won't say some Black people don't like him, but I think that's real. See, old head dudes. So automatically, he's gonna be. It could be brutal for Shaq, but I think I won't say I hope he's I hope he's L and L. I think you guys know what that means. But I don't know. But just for kicks, Whoopi Goldberg is no stranger to controversy, and I think she does it on purpose. And same as, the View is a gossip rag. It's a hack. Yeah, I don't even know why that show is still on. And it seems like even I saw Whoopi Goldberg wearing a Mason's jacket. Like, she was brazen and bold. Like, it was like a Letterman's jacket. Is that the wrong term? Letterman's jacket? Because, I never got a Letterman's jacket when I was in high school, by the way, or even middle school. Some kids had them. Some kids had them in middle school and high school. So it's kind of like that novelty of a class ring, with all your digs or your hacks on the side or whatever. But I don't know. I have to grab some lunch and jump on a call. I just wanted to come in and let me see what's going on. So if anybody's interested, if you're interested in coming on later, actually send an email to Black Spring with Autumn if you're interested in any of this stuff. Because I think we're getting into an interesting little, can I say a little bit of mutiny? I think there's a possibility for a little bit of mutiny. And it could be courtesy of the Black community. I think it could be, but like I said, we're swallowing a lot of seeds down on all this, on a whole lot we're swallowing all kinds of liberty seeds. no, we're swallowing seeds. We're swallowing many things that are, okay, easy. I know what you guys are thinking or not thinking. You know, there are not enough seeds. You can't, we're not going to keep being able to absorb all of this, all the tyranny that they're unleashing on us. We're not going to be able to. You know, we have these feel good moments, and you know, we have these little glimmers, these little postage size stamps of hope, you know, in the wreckage, but we got to do better. Shout out to Marcy T. Marcy T, are you guys laughing at me? Okay, it says Marcy T says they all have to pay the rent somehow. That's true. Joseph Francis Burton says Shaq needs to put out another rap album. Joseph Francis Burton says Whoopi Goldberg is so 1985. The last thing I saw her in was Jumping Jack Flash. What was it, Sister Act? I'm like, honey, your Sister Act is, everybody knows your act by now, and it is not winning. So yeah, so if you guys want to hop on later, give me, hello, Jerry's Passion. How are you? Thanks so much for tuning in to Black Spring Mobile. If you guys are interested in tuning in or tagging in on the live stream later, send me an email and I'll be happy to bring you on. Thank you, Jerry's Passion. I appreciate that. Send me an email, and then I'll get you what you need so you can come on, and because I'm interested in talking about some of these people that have been in the news this week, and how we might even be able to tie some, dare I say, political positions or stances to, because it just looks more like, you know, if you had to liken a Shaq or a Charles Barkley. Now I don't know what's Kyrie Irving, and I don't know his background like that. I don't know his background like that. But, I think people are getting a little bit tired of the you know, the fluff. They're getting a little bit sick of it. So, Old Head Deuce is here. Okay. So we'll bring that up, and I don't know if, well, I will say this now. See, I'm getting into things that I shouldn't be dealing with right now. But do you guys remember that when the whole Juicy Smollett thing came up, Charles Barkley did a comical, he basically did like a comical parody on Dumb Criminals. and that was featuring, of course, you know, Smollett was at the center of that. And he talked about, you know, check writing and that kind of a thing. So I don't know how people received that. And I don't know if everybody saw that, but it might be nice to kind of, let's see what side of let's see what's going on there. Are there similarities between Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley? I think they actually get along quite well. I don't really watch SportsCenter, but I was willing to watch SportsCenter just to see the parody that Charles Barkley did, which some people refer to him as Sir Charles, that the parody that he did on Smollett's experience with the whole Subway deal. All right, Sunfish for Fish is here. Marcy T says, I used to love all of them guys. Pistons, old school dudes till they went. Oh, gosh. I appreciate it. So, yeah, thanks so much, guys, for the thumbs up. And I will say this. Without a doubt, YouTube's, aka Derek C. Williams, shout out to you. Their tube is doing a heck of a job suppressing this channel even more. Okay, because I'm noticing that these numbers they're not getting notifications. None of this is new. Okay, none of this is new, but it's just being brought to my attention. And I noticed that these streams, even some of the mobiles are really low. And then some of the lives have been incredibly low. So I guess, you know, maybe you guys don't want to unsubscribe right now and resubscribe. I'm going to be honest. Now, this is, you know, they're listening to me. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point you don't get unsubscribed and then you won't be able to get back on. You won't be able to resubscribe. I don't know how soon those games are coming out, but I'm thinking that they're doing other things to suppress. They're doing other things to suppress what's going on, what's coming out. Um, like I said, it's gonna. I suspect it'll be a crime uh, to tell the truth pretty soon, and then that's going to put people in a hot seat. But I have not discounted the other ways that I would like to try to keep this platform going. But of course, as always, it's nice to see you guys. Marcy T's here. So yeah, and then there was some around Jerry's Passions that shared you host in my community. Oh, thanks, Jerry's Passion. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, that's not a term that I hear very often. And they made that more difficult by design, I believe. Like some people never learned what their sharing capability was, and there wasn't a clear path to it anyway. So I think they kind of pulled the trigger. They kind of made that a little bit covert. So it wouldn't be that possible to do, that easy to do. But I don't know. Do you guys think that civil disobedience is going to save the West from more tyranny? And I'm talking Canada and the United States. Do you think, Marcy T, I'd love to have you expound on double speak. Yeah, come on. Anytime. I'm just saying, if the production of farm of raw goods, agriculture is suppressed, and then you add the truckers onto it, then it's still going to equal the same. We're going to suffer the same fate. So I don't know. Reasonability says it's a start. Yeah, so let's see how it plays out. Send me an email. I think this will probably happen, what is it right now? Maybe around 5-ish, 4:35-ish, today, maybe. We'll see. Or either maybe 5-6ish, 5-6ish. Let me just read a couple comments here. Marcy T says, we need to do it anyway, just be big old pains. Well, as always, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and yeah, we'll see who shows up later. We'll see. And it depends on what responses I get from you guys, because that also determines, I like to see the interest. And I like to see the participation, because, whether we transform from this platform to another one, I still need to see the interest. This is not me making a case for, support, but it is definitely relevant. And I do have wonderful patrons on this channel, and I thank you guys all for everything that you do to support the channel. But, the more crazy things are, the more I have to put into to getting things out, and to be able to hear other people's opinions. Yeah, if you were successful in partnering with these people and that's the thing. I don't know that some of these large content creators, I don't know if they're still monetized. I think they've kind of reverted to, or they're relying on their merchandise to, dare I say, pad either their losses or whatnot from their partnerships. So let's see. Joseph Francis Burton says civil obedience will continue. I do it all the time simply by ignoring mandates. Will it save the West? Jury is out on that. Thank you, Joseph Francis Burton. Reasonability says it's a start, but if we allow our own production and logistics to stop, the government will intervene and create their own form of production and logistics and cancel us out. So we really have to balance. Very, very good point. Because I think we talked about this before in the much headier, stream I was trying to do, where I talked about the centralized economy, the planned economy versus it was all because the battery ran down. So I can't blame the tubes for that. But I will see you guys later for sure. And thanks so much for tuning in.